Today's podcast is brought to you by Audible.com. Get a free audiobook download at audiblepodcast.com/Sorgatron Media. Over 75,000 titles to choose from for your iPod, iPhone, or MP3 player.
This is Johnny Gargano, the bee's knees, the cat's pajamas, and the whole shebang. Not Johnny Bananas, by the way, even though I like to eat them. And you're watching the Wrestling Mayhem Show.
Wrestling Mayhem
Show.com.
It's the best day of the week. Today is the day that you have chosen to listen to the Wrestling Mayhem Show. This is DJ Lunchbox, putting it the fuck down for you. Let's fucking do this. Monday night, you know it must be raw. Leaders being a whore and not wearing a bra. Seen his damn belt still spinning around his waist. I can shit better rhymes on what comes out of his face. Tuesday night and it's EC Dub. Michael Q Knoxville join the club. If you're sick of the shit, scream out boo boo. This ain't EC Dub and we can tell that too. Wednesday night, ROH on DVD, the best wrestling on the planet to the nth degree. Joe Damon's delirious, Daniel City, Kid McCarthy, Homicide, the Rottweilers, and Kenta Kobashi. Thursday night, TNA on Spike. Bruce's spoken, so that means I'm puking blood tonight. Shut up and show me the damn X to the vision and get SoCal balance in my line of vision. Friday night SmackDown, this is all life. Kicking back, watching wrestling every night. Kennedy, Boogeyman, Helms, Hardy, Guerrero, London, Kendrick, and stealing the show. RWF Scion in the weekly features. You're a student, we are the teachers. Shout outs to Jimbo's crew and to the D's, putting it down for Vim with the greatest of ease.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Wrestling Mayhem Show 230. Back at you again. We have a hell of a show quasi-planned for you this evening. And with a full Skype-age. Oh, we lost the video. LB is supposed to be there, where that stormtrooper is. It was a moment ago. How are you doing tonight, sir?
There it is. I'm calling from the deserts of Indonesia. Mad Mike, you're stop having a seizure. Mad Mike is having a seizure.
Seizure.
For like half an hour, I just saw Mad Mike going.
I was waving hi to.
I'm on an operation. I'm on an operation that I can't really discuss right now, but needless to say, fate of humanity, all that fun stuff. But fate of humanity be damned. It's Tuesday night, that means it's time for the Wrestling Mayhem Show.
Damn straight. Yeah. Joining us via, we had a little problem with the audio on the Skype, so he's joining us via phone. That's why he sounds a little bit different. But he joins us visually. So, and to the right of him is Mad Mike, still not realizing the sun has gone down by this time of night.
Sorg, I have told you once, I've told you 3 times, it is dashing Mad Mike.
Dash,
the sunglasses
dash,
indicate I dash. ...
dash, Mad
yes.
Mike. WrestleFan from Texas, how you doing?
See, I am doing very interesting tonight.
So I learned something this weekend, WrestleFan. And
we're not learning things yet,
well, no, this isn't what I learned from wrestling this week. This is what I learned from Amish country this weekend. First of all, the kids have ponies to pull their carts along the road. And secondly, Eamon is an Amish name.
It is?
And I understand that there's a pretty heavy Amish influence up around where your mother is.
Thank God I'm not. Thank God I'm not Amish.
Thank God you're not Amish.
That's a problem, WrestleFan.
I don't believe in goat-powered.
What?
Goat-powered. What is it called? Vehicles.
WrestleFan, don't worry. Your mother has plenty of experience with goats.
Goat power is, it makes the world go round.
What?
Goats make the world go round.
Speaking of
making... The center of the earth is actually hollow, but it's filled with a shitload of goats pulling this giant wheel.
Speaking of making
being dragged around by goats.
Hot Wheels, how you doing tonight?
Hey, I'm doing just fine.
You were getting whatever segue presented itself, whether it made sense or not. I'm sorry.
I apologize, Hot Wheels.
So how you doing?
Perfect.
Thank you.
You are still leading the way.
Thank you for joining us again this week. We didn't scare you away.
Thank you for having me.
Excellent. And of course, if you come across us, you can check out more about the Wrestling Mayhem Show and all the stuff we're doing on WrestlingMayhemShow.com. Join us live at 8 p.m. ish Eastern every Tuesday. there or at sorgatronmedia.com. And of course, please check out over there. You can hit us up. Of course, our email is at WrestlingMayhemShow.com, where we'll have a lot of stuff to read here real quick at the top of the show. And of course, you can send a phone call. Put it in your phone so you can drunk dial us at 412-206-WMS0. And also, we're on the Twitters as well, at Mayhem Show. There'll be information about the show and what's coming up.
Sorg, who the hell drunk styles this show? I mean, really?
Yeah, we did get one from you. Did you want me to play your voicemail while you're on the show?
No way.
Sure, it'd be nice to know what I actually said.
I just saw our news
What I
email.
definitely don't remember anything I said in the voicemail.
Hold on a second, LB, what'd you say?
I said I just saw our newest email, and I'm a very happy man.
You are welcome, sir.
And
I saw him on Facebook. I'm like, sir, we need your presence.
And of course, I want to throw a couple other items out here real quick. Of course, you can go on the iTunes store, and for $1.99, you too can have the app for all of the cool write-up and our grill stuff. We have a lot of fun stuff. There was a lot of singing on Mayhem Gold this week.
There really was a lot of singing.
A little bit of Perfect Strangers, a little bit of Pile Driver, a little bit of... What was that? What was that? Wrestle Rock something?
Wrestle Rock Rumble.
And all the links and stuff that's in our show notes. Here's a fun new feature. They're all right there. There's all of our Twitters. Right there.
Right there.
Including Chris Maverick's website, the Cosmic Hellcats, everything on there. New features they just added. Pretty cool.
Hey, look, there's me right below Sorg.
There it is. That sounds wrong. Also, want to send out real quick, happy birthday to the Rock and Roll Outlaw. Do we want to sing? Do we want to try to sing over Skype? Because that would just be too entertaining.
It's not like we haven't sung over Skype before.
That is true. Happy birthday.
Now you're even older.
Happy birthday.
You're older than you've ever been. Now you're even older. And now you're older still.
Hot Wheels is going away. I don't know what's going on there. Okay, we tried. Happy birthday.
Happy fucking birthday, Rock and Roll Outlaw.
And of course, please.
Congratulations on turning 9.
You can follow our stories at delicious.com/wrestlingmayhem, or and please we're asking you, please get some iTunes comments on the video and the audio versions up there. Just look up Wrestling Mayhem Show and all that stuff will come up. Ooh,
unless you're a dick and don't put iTunes comments.
Yeah, there you go.
Actually, if you are a dick and you put negative iTunes comments, we will read them on the air and then we will publicly mock you.
We haven't done that yet, but we will. There's some YouTube.
It's a new segment for the Mayhem
There's
Show.
Some YouTube comments that have been really interesting lately on some of the old WWE versus TNA videos. Also, and one more thing I wanted to put out there because you guys made me forget about it. Crap.
Oh no.
Classic WMS. I'm just putting them all up. No descriptions. Good luck.
Yay.
Trust me, I have them all on my iPod. They are still gold.
There you go. Up to episode...
You will get a very sweet, sweet surprise.
Up to episode 27 is now posted. Look up Classic Wrestling Mayhem Show on iTunes, and it's all right there. We only have, from October of our first year on, which is, episode probably in the 40s. On. So yeah, so the lost episodes are coming back online. These things haven't seen the light of day in over a year or two, maybe. So
or longer.
Yeah. So go ahead and check those out. No wrestling interviews. We weren't doing that yet. But it's before we.
There were some interviews.
I think we started getting the interviews around when we moved to a new server over those fine folks at TalkShoe.com. Local Pittsburgh people.
No, we started getting the interviews when you moved to a new house, sir.
That wasn't the reason that we got the interviews.
No, I'm just saying. That was
all
the
with the exception of Jimmy DeMarco.
Yeah, true.
Jimmy DeMarco
it did encourage more
if it was inside your house.
Yeah.
See, it did encourage more Jimmy DeMarco interviews.
Too close to a lot of people lately. So, let's get into it. Let's whoa.
Email.
Email.
Hey, shout out to at FS Big Bob, because he just put out a giant woo to the Mayhem Show on Twitter.
Woo! Okay, everyone chop everyone.
Everybody find Big Bob and chop him in the city of Pittsburgh, okay?
Sorg, I just chopped myself, Sorg. You completely cut me off.
No, I'm sorry. Hey guys, who wants to read the first email?
I can take the Riz mail.
Go for it.
WMS.
That's us.
So, did you hear that there's a ECW pay-per-view coming up this week?
What?
Yeah, me neither. Anyways, apparently they are trying to get people from the old ECW to appear on the show. Sabu, Dreamer, Rhino, like he's been doing anything in TNA besides, well, nothing, are all suggested to be there. But here are 5 people that TNA should try to get on hardcore justice. 5. Bobby Lashley. Knowing him, he probably still thinks he's employed with TNA.
4. They fired him because he's black.
They're just trying to be more and more like WWE.
Yeah, exactly.
4. Vincent Kennedy McMahon. He was a former ECW champion.
This is true.
ECW Zombie. Actually, heard he's going to be the #1 contender for the TNA title. That'll be a main event match.
Can't wait for his match with Kurt Angle.
Can't wait for his match with Ric Flair. Ric Flair can truly never retire if he gets bitten by the ECW zombie.
Very true.
Oh my God. Intern, tweet that.
Intern, tweet this.
2. Macho Libre. Ooh, yeah. Say everything twice. Say everything twice.
Remind me, where was that?
WrestleFan, we don't encourage impersonations.
No, of course not. Where
of
was
course
that?
We don't.
Was that was from the original ECW?
That was not from the original ECW.
No,
when did they do
totally
that?
Wasn't. I don't even remember.
He came out in Sandman Kingdom, and that was it.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Oh, that's right.
See, and you say I can't do impressions.
Well, no, I mean, if you're going to do an impression, I mean, I've never done one before, but I could give it a shot. It'd probably be like, ooh, yeah, say everything twice, yeah.
There you go, that's not bad for a first time.
That was just just an attempt.
Wrestle fan.
That is the
And
worst,
finally,
the worst Bones Bomb bra I've ever heard.
Bonesaw is ready.
Bonesaw is ready.
And finally, #1, Kimono Wanalea. Because let's face it, you want your attention diverted when you realize that this isn't ECW and is in fact TNA.
There you go.
Until next time.
If you don't know who Kimono was, you Google that right now.
Google it, yes.
When she got on top of the arena. Yeah.
It was okay.
It
was okay.
It was okay.
I want to see what does come up.
It was okay.
Let's see. Safe search is off, and my God.
Give me Francine versus Beulah catfighting any day of the week.
For those curious about who Kimono Wanalea is from the old ECW days.
Sorg, you don't remember Kimono Wanalea?
You don't remember the Young Dragons?
I am aware.
Leia Meow. Leia Meow, ladies and gentlemen.
There's Kimono right there. Let's see.
Was that the same person? I didn't think it was.
Well,
yeah, it was the same person.
Really? This was Leia Meow?
That is Leia Meow.
There she is with the Young Dragons. I think that's from our Leia Meow days, isn't
Dragons.
It was Young with the J. I remember.
Yeah, Young Dragons with the J.
So there you go.
Oh, yeah.
Akio, Jimmy Yang, and...
Anyways, that was the email, wasn't it?
And Jamie Noble.
And Jamie Noble, boy!
Jamie Noble, boy!
That was it for the Riz email.
Idiot!
LB, do you want to take one of the two that I think you should read?
Yes, I just don't know which one I should read.
Oh,
it's such a hard decision.
Gentleman's choice.
All right. All right, are we ready?
Yeah, go for it.
Hello, Lunchbox. I really don't want to go to college, and I still don't know what I picked for a class. I did watch some TNA, and I was super drunk. I don't remember a lot, but Jeff Hardy was fucking awesome, like always. Hardy and his awesome drugs that make him paint his face all crazy. Where can I get some? Damn it. Robot Kitty
Where
Boo.
can I get some, damn it?
I'm still working on music, and it's coming along. One more thing, Predators fucking rock. It's greatest movie this year.
Wow.
Wow.
The end.
We missed you, Juggalo Jamie.
Thank you,
Awesome.
Juggalo Jamie.
Just like all Juggalo Jamie mails, they just fade away.
And we got one from Mr. Rock and Roll Outlaw himself, the birthday
Birthday boy.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, fans and friends, here, there, and everywhere, I'm back. After an unbelievably, unhealthily long absence from the best wrestling podcast on this crazy series of tubes we call the internets, I should have you guys write promos for us. Holy shit. I have returned to bring you the one and only Rock and Roll Outlaw Mail. That was just the introduction, folks. TNA, One Night Stand. Fucking TNA. I can't believe they've went to the level of desperation to get me to watch by exploiting the fact that, well, as we all know, I am a huge ECW mark, and using that to get me to watch their stupid pay-per-view, and I'm genuinely convinced that they're specifically targeting me and no one else, because no one else will watch TNA, and I will watch anything with ECW names attached to it.
Sorg,
Yes.
to be fair, this isn't an ECW pay-per-view. It's not a TNA pay-per-view. It's an EV 2.0 pay-per-view.
That's right.
God, I hate that name.
EV 2.0. EV 2.0.
Not very chantable.
Well, no, it sounds like ECW. That's why they did it.
No, it doesn't.
Wait, isn't it?
Yes,
well,
it does.
Isn't it?
ECW, EV 2.0, EV
That
2.0.
I'm not
doesn't
good.
sound
No.
the same at all. And wouldn't it,
Yes,
I
it
just realized
does.
that wouldn't it be EV 3.0?
Syllables, man. Syllables.
Actually, 3.0 even makes more sense, too. All right, continue with the email.
All
Sorg,
right,
sorry.
moving on. There's just too many things right for it to be more coincidence. Mere coincidence. Ever since I punked Taz out on Twitter, he's been planning this to show me that TNA is not rehashed WCW. I admire your devotion, sir. So yes, as much as it pains me to admire it, or admit it, sorry, I will be watching the Hardcore Justice pay-per-view this Sunday. I won't be doing it alone, though. I'll be watching it with my best friend, Captain Morgan.
Yeah, it's totally not rehashed WCW. WCW. Or go ahead.
What was that, Lunchbox?
I said, fuck TNA. I'm going to go learn about Jesus Sunday night. That's much better use of my time.
I'm going to go watch the rise and fall of ECW.
I was gonna go learn about Jesus. I was gonna go learn about Jesus and then the Hardcore Revolution, but yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, because it's totally not rehashing WCW, because, you know, when ECW was around, WCW totally didn't steal the hardcore stuff.
Yeah, it's not like they didn't totally bring in Raven and Sandman and Sabu.
And bring in a hardcore title. No, they totally didn't do that.
No, I hope they don't call it Sandman Hardcore Hack again.
Oh,
God.
But maybe if
I
we're
love how
lucky,
he
they'll bring
actually
in
got
Norman
paid to be
Smiley.
called a hack.
Wait, Norma Smiley? Yeah, okay, at WCW, I got you.
Norman Smiley. Norman Smiley would be great in ECW.
Anyway, secondly, I propose to you Wrestling Mayhem verse a contest. Okay? I will be attending a Raw double taping in September when they come to Indy, September 27th, I believe. And I will be in a seat with guaranteed camera time. So, bombard my Facebook page, bombard my Twitter, and give me all the sign ideas you can think of. Whoever has the best idea, I'll put it on the sign, and on the back of the sign, I will put thank you to whoever's idea it was. Well, fans and friends, I do believe this awesome train has reached its destination. So thank you for traveling with us here on the Rock and Roll Outlaw Express.
Wow.
Be sure to get those sign ideas in. If you don't know how to get a hold of me, send the ideas to goodtimes@wrestlingmayhemshow.com. Sure, we'll pass it. Okay, and I'll get them. So until next time, remember, I am the Rock and Roll Outlaw, and I am just fucking arrogant to think TNA is specifically marking the entire pay-per-view towards me. Be jealous.
Well, it is his birthday.
No offense, if they're marketing the pay-per-view to you, that means they'd have to do marketing. and they haven't done any marketing for this pay-per-view.
That's not true. I've seen a whole lot of tweets about it.
There you go. There you go.
How many matches do we know are going to be on this pay-per-view?
None.
Yeah, exactly.
None. There are no matches booked.
I can't wait to turn on this pay-per-view and see. Oh wait, there's no matches on this card.
Well, we do know that it's going to be RVD versus
Sorg. They
well,
haven't
we know
announced
that, but the people that watch TNA don't know that.
The lay people.
Yeah, well, I mean, the people don't go to dirt sheets.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. What we do know, what's going on?
I don't know.
What we do know is they have a really cool
Holy
website.
crap.
What's
I
happening?
think Skynet's taken over the Mayhem show.
Where is that coming from?
What the hell?
It's not me. I don't know what that is.
Anyways, Sabu got added. To,
whoop-de-doo.
of course, Steven Richards,
The man
Simon
that'll do
Diamond,
anything for money.
Al Snow, Axel Rotten, Johnny
If you-
Swinger.
All right. No, Sorg.
If you believe anything
you can't say
that
Al Snow got added because Al Snow already works for TNA.
Oh, I'm just going down the rest.
He just happens to be there.
Less obvious. And just announced, I think today, is Too Cold Scorpio,
Woo.
who will be seen here in the IWC land.
Oh yeah, and Ball said no, then he said yes, then he said no, then he said yes again.
I think he's still chasing down that promoter from Newcastle.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
Probably. Well, all right. Let Mad Mike take a guess of some of the matches we're gonna see.
Okay.
We're gonna see Team 3D versus Balls and Axel.
Okay.
We're gonna see RVD Jerry Lynn, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
I think we're gonna see Too Cold Scorpio versus
Sabu?
No,
Maybe
no,
Sabu.
I wouldn't be surprised to see Sabu versus Joe.
Could.
Are they going to include TNA guys on this?
And then, of course, we're going to have Raven and Dreamer.
Yeah, that was announced.
They set that
the
up.
show this week.
And I think we're also going to see one thing we're not going to see though, because a certain person on TNA's current roster refused to do it. We are not going to see Ric Flair versus Shane Douglas.
Well, Shane Douglas refused to do it. Shane Douglas
No. Ric Flair refused to do it.
Oh, well, but even he's not even going to be on the show, Shane Douglas.
Well, I think he just wanted to be on the show to fight Ric Flair.
That's true. LB, I think there's one more that you deserve to read.
I know I can't read it.
Oh, I'm sorry, I turned you down.
What it is, Wrestling Mayhem crew, 3 emails ago on Wolf's Thoughts on Failure. I bitch-slapped TNA's management 2 weeks ago. Vince caught a bitch. Last week, the angry internet nerds caught a big dick bitch slap. Tonight, on Wolf's Thoughts on Failure, no one is fucking safe. Let's call this the complete, utter bullshit edition. Let's get this shit started.
Now, I want
What?
I want to show how this is written. Check that out. The WTF.
He likes to use the capitals and the bolds.
Because I mean, these are very pretty emails. Yep. We have to.
You know, I have to give him credit.
Mm-hmm.
Wolf's Thoughts on Failure, the weekly WTF. That's fucking brilliant.
The Wolf's Thoughts on Failure. That should be a blog post, man. I think somebody needs to get some access to the site here. Sorry, LB. Go ahead.
Sorry. What the fuck? Why is your video game such a clusterfuck on epic proportion? I assume that a video game of a product is supposed to broaden the brand to other audiences not familiar with the company. Damn, TNA Your Video Game was so bad that I enjoyed not watching the fucking show. Congrats, assholes of Midway. And TNA, that game was complete, utter bullshit. Time out for a fucking second. Here's a thought. TNA's game was shit. TNA's figures were shit. Wow, does that mean TNA? Wait, no. Wow, what does this mean, TNA? By the way, doesn't that sound like WCW in 2001? Since we're on the subject of video games, WWE SmackDown vs. Raw series, you're the next victim here. Remember back in the 90s, WWE games were super shitty. WrestleMania, the arcade game, sucked.
Yes.
In Your House was so fucking terrible that it's responsible for mass hysteria and genocide in Europe. If you don't believe that, go yourself, hippie. But miraculously, WWE got THQ, and it's been heaven since. Well, let's be real. It was heaven until the Versus Raw series was started. The series was going into its 7th installment, but so far, the games are good, but stale. Damn it, THQ. I recently played SmackDown 2. 10% of the finishers and moves are still the same. What the fuck, THQ? If you want to help your video game turn to greatness, include stuff from your past games. Remember in SmackDown 2 when you can add a manager to your wrestler? Or when you could add or change the contenders in the ranking system? Borrow shit from Day of Reckoning. The exhibition mode was crazy, my ninja. 4-man Iron Man and Last Man Standings. The season mode was better by light years than the Creator Wrestler Road to WrestleMania, the 2010 WWE game. Agreed. What I'm trying to say, THQ, is that your SmackDown vs. Raw game is complete, utter bullshit compared to the old SmackDowns. What truly complete, utter bullshit is the fact that No Mercy, which came out in 2000, is way better than WWE Raw vs. SmackDown 2010. It's time to slam on some old, complete, utter bullshit memories that haunt me from my past. Remember back in the day when we had the Undisputed title? When it was when someone held the World Heavyweight and WWE title at the same time. So, fast forward to 2010. Now have the Unified Tag title. Why is it now called Unified if the term was once used as undisputed? Remember when Christian and Nitro Brothers? Kiss my black ass, Vince. What is it with you and WWE's constant continuity issues? There is no excuse for that complete, utter bullshit. This is no way over. Why did we not see a rematch between Eddie Guerrero and Triple H? Why was Taker ruling SmackDown without one title win until 2007? Really? Big Evil was the shit. Why did Eddie only have one title reign? Bullshit, Vince. Why was JBL WWE champion for so fucking long? Who booked that? Complete, utter bullshit. Triple H in 2003 in Evolution. Enough said. Mickie James' burial during the end of the run of her career. The lack of a tag team division. Edge's face heel turn doozy on Raw this year. Superman, John Cena in 2005. Miz winning titles and barely defending it. All are complete, utter bullshit on the part of WWE. Can't do shit right sometimes, management. Another series of bullshit is the ironic statement of John Cena, who claimed that Percy Watson, MVP's rookie, was the worst guy on NXT because it's impossible to believe that Percy can cut a serious promo. What the fuck, Cena? You spent your entire career being pampered by the WWE when it was obvious you sucked at wrestling. Obvious you didn't deserve to run through the entire main event roster on Raw. I mean, I like John Cena. He's great when his promos project sarcasm, but when he's being serious, it's worse than acting. Come on, son. Get the fuck out of here with that complete, utter bullshit.
Yeah, I'm personally a fan of Percy Watson on NXT. And for the fact that he can't cut a serious promo, I mean, nothing compared to, like, Eli Cottonwood's promos.
Well, see, the thing is about...
Mustache.
The thing about cutting a serious promo is that you actually have to be in a serious angle.
Yeah.
Right now, he's not. Like, if John Cena was... Remember when Vince McMahon was getting stalked by The Undertaker? If Vince came out and said, "Oh, yeah!" Well, then that would seem entirely out of place.
Good reference, Mike.
Thank you. You can tell I've watched a lot of Livewire this week.
Yeah. But the thing about that is, Santino Marella, when's the last time he cut a serious promo? And he's probably one of the most entertaining things, at least for me and a lot of fans, on Raw.
But he can from his OVW days when he was the crazy Russian fighter guy.
Yeah, but that's not his gimmick. He doesn't need to. Percy Watson doesn't need to cut serious promos because he's not a serious guy.
Well, and he's not in a serious program. You cut a promo based on the program that you're in.
Yeah.
Because, like, even John Cena, when he was going against The Undertaker, he would rap, but they'd be serious raps.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, LB?
All right, last portion here. Last one before I go sane. Remember Shelton Benjamin analyzed Burke? What the fuck happened there, Vince? How did you manage to fuck those stars over? Maybe it's because at one point you feel like pushing stars and later you stop, then you re-push them, then you stop. How are they ever supposed to get over if no one can take them seriously? Or, Miles.
Here it comes.
Or, it's because they're not house Negroes like The Rock. I can forgive Vince for Burke and Benjamin because not every guy can get over. And I fully understand some circumstances, but the Booker T screwjob at WrestleMania 19, I can never forgive. Angle calling Booker T's wife a gutter slut was weird, but funny. Vince saying the N-word was, again, weird, but funny. But Triple H did what all heels are supposed to do, attack in the most foul way. But for the owner of racist remarks to still go over at WrestleMania where 97% of the time good guys prevail was complete, utter bullshit. Holy shit, it's 4 in the morning. I'm going to save this now for later. Sorry for the long rant, but after some sorry for the long rant. After some good loving, I got some great ideas on whom to shit on. Stay chill, Wrestling Mayhem crew, and stay fucking funny. P.S. In episode 223, I was in the synopses, but the following shows I wasn't. Correct the issue, or I'ma kill ninjas till they dead. Yes, they deserve to die, and I hope they burn in hell.
It's time for somebody else to start writing the synopsis.
Yes, they deserve to die, and I hope they burn in hell.
Yeah, and thus concludes the fan mail for this week. A half an hour later.
God.
Can I just say
Yeah.
thank you, Wrestling Mayhem Show fans. This is a great bout of email.
This is the best collection of email we've had in a few weeks. This is everybody's been in classic tonight. Definitely.
We got Juggalo Jamie. We got Juggalo Jamie's longer-winded brother in the Wolf.
Longer-winded.
This is great. I think the Wolf is actually like if Juggalo Jamie and Steam Machine had a child, it would be the Wolf. That's probably the highest compliment I can give someone.
There you go. That's where that's been put. Anyways,
that's what she said.
I think we need to get into a little bit of indie news. WrestleFan, did you have anything prepared you want to get out there before we got into our talk?
I don't have a whole lot this week. The only thing, if you go, the only thing I would say to check out is there is a new Ring of Honor video wire on their YouTube page just released today. Go check that out. And then also, if you go to ChikaraPro.com, they announced all 24 of their participants for this year's Young Lions Cup. That's also a good thing to check out. That's pretty much all I have for indie news. But I know there was other stuff you want to talk about.
Yeah, basically, through my work, I happened to attend 2 wrestling shows I wanted to make a comment to, and it's one of the reasons Wheels is here. Of course, as many know, Wheels is a link to RWA. What the hell does that stand for again?
Renegade Wrestling Alliance.
There you go. They're over at rwalive.com. There's a reason they haven't been mentioned a lot on this show. You know, there's been a little bit of a ban on them because of a lot of flack. We'll just put it at that. If you really want to, if you dig a little bit, you can find out what's going on there. But regardless of what I think of the company as a whole, and what people think of how they came to be and everything, which we're not going to get into that. That's not what this discussion is about. You know, I've had the pleasure to be at ringside and seen some not so great matches. You know, as typical indie fare. Yeah. And seen, especially this past weekend. What was the event called? Was it a Resurrection? I think.
Yeah, it was Resurrection.
Down there at West Newton. And understand, one thing I think RWA does right is they're going to these towns where there's no wrestling, let alone anything to do. And I think IWC is seeing that lately, where they're going to places like Clearfield. Franklin's always a big show. When they went to Newville, it was always a big show. Is tapping into these little towns that don't have anything else to do, don't have something like professional wrestling, and they eat it up. You know, I mean, by people's standards, maybe RWA isn't an IWC or a PWO or a Ring of Honor, you know, that they'd want to go to. This isn't destination wrestling, but it's like the hottest crowd I hear around. When I see like Ryan Mitchell come out, the girls go nuts, of course, you know, all the 14-year-olds.
Or even Strider.
Or Strider. You know, Strider's a guy that, you know, I was happy to see, you know, he's a guy that just started when, you know, we first started talking to you guys down there. And I'm glad to see that he's come a long way. I'm really impressed with him as an indie talent these days. But
I think, Sorg, if you remember, I mean, way back when, we even said he'd be a big, like, plus for anybody.
Mm-hmm. I mean, he's a guy that he's like Sheamus Light, and I think there was actually a comment in the promo this week about that. But it's pretty cool to see him doing well. But you know, regardless of what you think of the company, there are some guys out there. Some of them we talked about before, friends of the show, that are doing really good down there. Jason Gorey has impressed the shit out of me with his heel turn. I've mentioned before on the show.
Oh, yeah.
And I really wish, I really hope after this tag team thing, we see it in stuff like IWC and some of the other companies around the area, so people get to see it. Because I think that guy,
yeah.
I don't remember him saying 2 words edgewise, you know, years ago, and now he has like the biggest personality that I think I've seen from that guy. So, and I know, you've seen a lot of it firsthand there. You know, obviously.
I was going to say, I mean, between all of us going to IWC and seeing Gory from the beginning to the end, like, not even really the end, but we've seen him babyface all the time, and he's heel now, and I like it a lot better.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it seems that he's able to play that asshole a little better. I mean, from his reactions to everything. But
I mean, it's great.
Go ahead. And the others.
Oh, sorry. I was going to say, do you want to go through? I went on the website to look at the results. You want to go through each match and our thoughts on it?
No, I don't want to do that completely because I don't want to necessarily throw anybody individually under the bus. I'd rather kind of put over what I thought stuck out from the show.
True.
Sixthly, I think you're a little more familiar. There was a match that we thought was a little oddly placed before the intermission. Endo was the one guy's name, and who's the guy that looks like the bastard son of Lou Ferrigno? Because that's what I know him as.
The bastard son of Lou Ferrigno was Nile.
Nile?
Yeah, he came up with Trace Matthews and Endotainment.
Okay.
So they came from the Atlanta area, but of course they were in RWA in the beginning.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So that was our first time even seeing him.
This guy, he's pretty jacked, and he talks like Conan the Barbarian the whole time. And that guy's a keeper as far as I'm concerned. And he would just like go and just growl "shut up" at the crowd, and they would yell back at him. It was pretty fantastic. But the biggest thing that really stuck out for me was that main event, which was an unannounced main event. I know Bill Collier was supposed to be there against Ryan Mitchell, and you know, something happened to that as things do in Indy. So instead we got Scotty Gash and Ryan Mitchell in a street fight, which has to be one of the best.
Which honestly,
mm-hmm.
Yeah, I loved it. I was like so happy for that main event. It was, I mean, honestly, no offense to Bill Collier, but I'm glad that what happened with him, because Scotty and Ryan stole the show.
That's like legitimately the best match I've seen in that group. And it's you know, and these are guys that have you know, been around, you know, the area, you know, PWX and all the other, you know, groups over the years. I mean, I think both of them are 10-year veterans or something around like they're talking about.
I think so. Yeah.
They're talking about fighting back in 2003 when they were building up to that match. But it was, yeah, it was it had ladders, it had tables. It wasn't a complete junk hardcore match. It was better than the Raven versus Bane hardcore match I saw at Resolution this past weekend. So I just wanted to take a moment and throw some pops out to them. Like I said, I really don't think anybody listening is gonna kind of seek out, you know, them for their indie wrestling. You know, it's more of a regionalized thing. But there's people doing some good things, and at least keep an eye out for them. You know what I mean? If you want to check it out, rwalive.com. So, and you know, keep an ear out for that. So, The other thing I wanted, was there anything else you want to toss out there about that before we move on, Wheels?
The only thing I think was, I mean, I had 4 favored matches. The rest were lackluster, but everybody did pretty good for all the changes we had to do. So
yeah, there's a lot.
I give everybody props.
I understand
for that.
there was a lot of new people, last minute changes there. You know, which happens. I think Clearfield was kind of a similar situation for IWC as well. But it came off. The second half definitely came off pretty well. So
yeah, and I mean, I totally liked it. I'm excited for August 28th when you got Scotty Gash and Ryan Mitchell in a steel cage
I'm
up
excited.
at high.
I'm excited that because that means I'm going to be ringside videoing 2 cage events.
Yes.
That and IWC. This is like the month of the cages. What the hell, man?
Yeah, I kind of noticed that.
It's like everybody wants a cage match in August, it seems. So, but and also, you know, that's coming up too. I think we're going to try to talk to somebody here in the next week. IWCWrestling.com for Cage Fury 2. They're having at least 2, maybe 3 matches there. I haven't looked at them lately, but you know, you can check them out. But the other big thing, of course, we talked to Joe Dombrowski last week about Resolution 3. It was down at the Nautica. Now, I have not been to the Nautica since 11 years ago when I went to my first ICP concert. Okay? It's pretty freaking cool. It's an outdoor stage right on the river. There's yachts going by as you're watching the show. It and barges and, you know, whatever else you look across. There's downtown Cleveland, you know, it's downtown Cleveland, but still. But I was really impressed with the turnout. It seemed like there was more people there than I maybe saw at like maybe the Ring of Honor tapings at the arena or anything. It was, you know, a lot more wide open space, and I don't think there was a bummer on that card. You know, there was a couple matches, like I think the Team Balls. I think we were talking about WrestleFan. You know, that was probably like the worst match. I mean, let's be serious. I was kind of sad to see Shima and Super Hentai didn't make it for whatever reason. But Michael the Bomber Facade with he teams up with Flip Afro Form that was on Trios, and I think they're the Ninja Elite Squad. We figured out that's NES. I didn't notice. Took out, of course, the Gambinos were there, who I ran into at a truck stop on the way out. That was a little frightening.
Sorg got assaulted by the Gambinos.
Yeah. You know what? I swear, I think Mickey or Marshall was trying to hit me with the truck. So, you know, but you know, I'm in the middle of Ohio, and I just had some really shitty pizza. I'm walking through the parking lot, and somebody's yelling my name. Wouldn't you be worried? So. Some other highlights. Portia Perez as the Power Ranger I finally got to see. And of course, Sex Appeal, friends of the show, Bobby Beverly and Bobby Shields against the Homeless Handicap Connection. We're looking at some of the stuff before the show. Check out Gold for that. But it's Gregory Iron, of course, we've talked about on the show, and Homeless Jimmy.
Hobo Joe.
Hobo Joe. I'm sorry. That's the old PW. I can't remember. XPW. Yeah. Too many letters, but it was pretty damn fantastic. If you're in Ohio, I was looking at this list today too. If you're in Ohio, you're pretty much going to see most of the event on TV on Sunday nights. You know, even a little bit of Western PA, I thought. And I guess if you're on Dish Network and everything, you can check it out too. And you know, they'll have the DVD available soon. But it got to meet Relic, who I talked to Lucas from the group last Tuesday on the Music Fun Time show. They were real cool guys, and they had them perform the event song, much like you see on like the pay-per-views and at WrestleMania and stuff. Is pretty cool. It really felt like WrestleMania of the Indies. You know, I have not seen or heard of an event this big as far as an indie group goes. You know, I mean, these guys had the presentation down, the delivery down. You know, they threw the band was played like 3 songs through the intermission. There were sponsorships. They had people. They had sponsors coming out to toss T-shirts in the crowd with the PWO girls. I mean, it was really impressive. And also interesting to see Hacksaw Jim Duggan and Raven at the same table signing autographs. You know, I gotta say. But yeah,
Oh,
definitely check it out. And Gargano versus M-Dog 20 Matt Cross was completely ridiculous. They took it all over the place. It was a damn good show. At one point, M-Dog climbed the cabling to the tent roof area, and then just to drop on Gargano. They were climbing in the balconies and everything. It was insane. It absolutely
Nice.
insane. So we'll keep an eye out, and hopefully guys let you know when there's a DVD available for that. In the meantime, you can check out pwwrestling.com. So, well, on that note, I think it's time for a little musical interlude by our friend DJ Lunchbox. What is our pick for this week? If he's... Oh, we lost the video right when he did that.
Well, sir, I would like to introduce you, fine folks, to a group called Breton. There's a little back history of Breton. Breton began life in a warehouse somewhere in southeast London, born from the creative force of musicians and filmmakers Roman Rapak and Adam Anger, A-I-N-G-E-R, and expanded recently into a multi-instrumental and visual collective with the inclusion of Ian Patterson, Daniel McEveney, and Alex Wady. This year, the very limited and quirky snapped-up EP, Practical, floated between, quote, eerie and carnival-esque, combining elements of math rock, post-rock, straight-up electro, and even tropical, end quote, from albino.com. The second EP in the trilogy, entitled Sharing Notes, which follows on in July, the physical copy of this EP will come mounted on a, get this, hand-made circuit board with a list of components and directions which, when followed, creates a fully working synth. That is badass. Breton are the glaring beacons of the MP3 generation, the generation of immediate access to music and visuals where careers and genres spanning decades, cultures, and the globe are spread wide open for the taking, downloading and mixing into billions of individual eclectic and genre-defining playlists. With such light-speed assimilation of influences spanning from the Beach Boys to minimal house, dubstep to David Bowie, Bjork to East Coast hip-hop, and a noticeable chunk of post-punk, Breton creates wholly individual songs, and with the end result being a blasting, constantly evolving sonic assault, absorbing all, it mixing up into wholly individual songs, building, imposing razor-sharp electronics, post-punk, and art rock. That sounds like nothing else. The song that you'll be hearing is called The Well, off of Sharing Notes. Breton, enjoy it. That's the Mayhem Show.
Awesome. Good first half, ladies and gentlemen.
I'll find a way to count it out. And then I'll find a song. Astounded by how easily my eyes and body have adjusted. Stuck pins in them. I lost teeth and gained wisdom. Stop if you counting, if you counting, if you counting, if you. I broke bread, stuck pins in them. I lost teeth and gained wisdom. Stop if you counting, if you counting, if you counting, if you. I'll find a way to count it out. Stuck pins in them. I lost teeth and gained wisdom. Stop if you counting, if you counting, if you counting, if you broke bread. stuck pins in them. I lost teeth in gain wisdom. Stop if you counting, if you counting, if you counting, if you broke bread stuck pins in them. I lost teeth in gain wisdom. Stop if you counting, if you counting, if you counting, if you broke bread stuck pins in them. I lost teeth in gain wisdom. Stop if you counting, if you counting, if you counting, if you stop if you counting, 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 if you broke bread stuck pins in them, if you broke counting, if you counting, if you counting, if you
I'll find a way to count it out.
if you counting, if you.
This is Ryan Mitchell. You're watching the Wrestling Mayhem Show, where future stars are showcased.
Ladies and gentlemen, introducing the one, the only.
It's the men of the Wrestling Mayhem Show at WrestlingMayhemShow.com.
What's up, guys? Wrestling Mayhem Show. Hope you enjoyed that break. That music. The music break.
Music.
Honestly,
The
skip
break
ahead.
with the music.
This is a podcast, and it's your choice. It's a democracy on the internet. But anyways, and it's also a business sometimes, and we like to pretend that this is a business. So we'd like to introduce you to our sponsor, Audible.com. You can get a free book and a 14-day trial. Cancel anytime there. No risk to you. audiblepodcast.com/Sorgatron Media. And we always like to throw a little tidbit out there. Books we like, books we have on our wish list, in some cases, like tonight. That you can kind of give you an idea where to go in and check out to start with, and I think Mad Mike, he has something to prove in that regard tonight with his
Mad Mike has
damn
something.
shades. So what have you got to read tonight?
Dashing.
What's your book report today?
My book report is seriously.
Shouldn't I be doing this?
If I can be
No,
serious
because
for a
you
moment.
can't read, WrestleFan.
Oh, that's right. I forgot.
There are no picture audiobooks.
It should be. That would be awesome.
You fetus.
An audio picture book. That'd be awesome. We need to invent that. All right, so let me ask you, fans of the Wrestling Mayhem Show, and let me ask you guys, do you enjoy hot women?
Always.
Sure, we all do.
Do you enjoy hot women that are geeks?
Always a plus.
Yeah.
Do you enjoy telling famous feminine icons to suck it? That's a yes.
I guess.
Okay.
Okay. I didn't know how to answer that one.
You knew
That's-
exactly how to answer that one.
That's on my bucket list.
That's usually when you get in trouble.
That's on my WrestleFan. You're too young for the bucket list. Anyway, the book that I am recommending, I haven't read it yet, but actually, I think I really think, because I haven't signed up for Audible yet, I think this might be my free audiobook.
Mm-hmm.
It's Olivia Munn's "Suck It, Wonder Woman." I've heard fantastic things about it. Olivia Munn, if you follow her on Twitter, if you read her blog, if you watch Attack of the Show, if you watch Daily Show, you know she's hilarious. And it's a book all about her. And here's the summary that we have on Audible. In this hilarious collection, you'll find essays like Thoughts About My First Agent's Girlfriend's Vagina, wherein Olivia skewers what it's like to live in Hollywood. In Sex, What You Can Do to Help Yourself Have More of It, she frankly gets down to business of getting it on, including advice on how to appropriately wrap it and bag it. LB, I think that one's for you. In What to Do When the Robots Invade, yes, when, Olivia offers valuable information on what to do when the robots invade. That's actually what it says here. And just when you thought she couldn't get any more geeky, she can. The book includes such handy treasures as a timeline of great moments in geek history and an unofficial FAQ section. Suck It, Wonder Woman brings Olivia Munn's unique humor, incredible wit, and lightning-fast costume changes to a world that needs more scrapbooking sea monkeys and, for the love of God, a freaking hoverboard.
And there's a little bit here, if we can get a preview.
I don't think that the treatment took, as he stayed with my mom for a year before going back home because he refused to go to school or say please or thank you or be normal. This same aunt, fun thing about her, I'm pretty sure she's a hoarder. She once bought like $463,000 worth of rice cookers because they were on sale. She can't control herself around a good deal. Or a bad one. She once bought out a store of its swing gliders and made everyone in the family throw away their beds to sleep on their very own individual swing glider. Another aunt?
There you go. Hear about her family. Awesome. So there you go. Check it out. Oh, there she is. audiblepodcast.com/Sorgatron Media. You go check it out there. You'll be helping us out. Enjoy the mayhem. Enjoy Audible. All right, guys, let's get into it. WrestleFan, you had something you brought up during the break here that kind of threw us
I had brought up something during the break.
bit.
I didn't know if it was appropriate to mention, but this is the Mayhem show.
Yeah, well,
WrestleFan, when is rape never appropriate on this show?
Good point. I mentioned briefly, very briefly during the Indie Minute about the ROH Video Wire, the new one that's up at ROHWrestling.com. And in the opening segment, it was from the match, I believe, in Collinsville, Illinois, where Daisy Hayes was kidnapped by Austin Aries. Later during the video wire, we see Delirious searching for his manager, Daisy Hayes, only to find her in a freezer.
What the fuck?
Stealing our gimmick. Stealing
the Mayhem show gimmick.
Jessica, get the fuck out of the freezer!
He's having some problems.
I'm about to die. Oh boy. But and then as soon as it finishes and Austin Aries attacking Delirious afterwards, and then Aries cutting a promo while holding Daisy Hayes tight.
Oh, sorry about that.
Nope.
Whoa.
Lord.
Whoa.
Go for it. What you're saying?
Jesus.
So yeah, it seems ROH is going a very interesting direction.
Very new direction.
ROH Special Victims
Oh no,
Unit.
it's not working out too well. But there's a scene right there of what's going on. Yeah, awkward. To say the least. So.
Whoa. Okay, delay in the chat room just came up.
So, don't say that Ring of Honor isn't edgy. So, now it's going again. Well, now it's not. Thank you, YouTube. You're so reliable for me.
YouTube.
Anyways, let's get into the news. There's some new stuff on the this help ULB.
What?
On the Delicious, there's a couple new items that I noticed.
There's one I posted.
Oh, it's a WrestleFan too.
I posted the news that's coming out about apparently Samoa Joe's reportedly being suspended by the company.
What?
Due to apparently he blew up at apparently he confronted TNA management, more specifically some of I think the production crew, as well as Vince Russo, over the fact that he didn't like the fact that during his match with Jeff Hardy on Impact, that Jeremy Borash alerted the fans about there being I think 30 seconds left in the match because it gave away the ending of it being a time limit draw.
To be fair, he's entirely accurate about that.
Right.
And yeah, he is. It is right. He did give away the match. But Samoa Joe, I believe a couple times in the past, Joe hasn't been very happy with the direction of the company.
Mm-hmm.
So apparently he is being suspended. He wasn't at the Impact taping, the last Impact taping. So,
which is it? Yeah, and he's not wrong.
Yeah,
he's not wrong at all.
It is very telling that's going to be a time limit. I mean, but this is the same guy, like you said, that he's blown up a production before. But he's also the guy that goes on like Twitter or something. It's like, look, I'm getting a paycheck from the company. How bad can it be? Several times. So interesting, and he seems like the doesn't take crap kind of guy. So it'd be interesting to see where that goes.
What this does prove once and for all, though? TNA actually does have a production unit. Sometimes it doesn't seem like it.
They did say he went into the production truck, which I was surprised they even had.
Come on, PWO had a production truck.
Sorg,
they're
this is
regional.
TNA. This is the exact company that broke a 2x4, and 2 minutes later it was perfectly fine. You have to remember that.
Yeah, but they can't even get that right in Arnold Schwarzenegger movies. So, speaking of TNA, Mr. Chris Jericho was on the Monday Night Mayhem show.
We have a Monday Night Mayhem show?
Stealing our gimmick.
No, I think they were there first, to be honest.
Liars.
We want not nearly as good, though.
No, well, opinions aside, but they talked to Chris Jericho, and he sees TNA as a vanity project that's been treading water for the last 4 years.
Chris Jericho.
They got nothing else going on.
Please be my surrogate father.
Their booking is horrendous, and I say that with the utmost respect for those guys, that I most desire to see them succeed, but it's crap. It's crap. They throw stuff up against the wall, and it's hard to watch when it doesn't have to be. And this is going back to the numbers. Again, I'd like to see where these came from. They're doing 10,000 buys on pay-per-view, so they bring back Sandman and Sabu, and maybe they could do 30,000 buys. Go for it. Maybe they can do something. They can do something out of it. Having a guy like Tommy Dreamer involved behind the scenes might be what they need. Get rid of the same old stuff that they have been doing over and over, and bring in someone with a new perspective. Yeah.
Definitely.
So Jericho has his opinions. Meanwhile, Jim Cornette has his as well.
Well, we all know Jim Cornette's opinion.
Jim Cornette is opinionated?
Nobody can succeed with Vince Russo even working in the company, much less creative. And that is the one person Dixie Carter has protected at all times. Nobody understands it. Nobody can explain it. So there's a little bit of... Yeah.
If TNA does manage to get, 20,000 buys out of this pay-per-view, what exactly, should that be a good sign that the fact that their entire 80-man roster can't sell a pay-per-view, but they have to bring in, 25 guys from the late 90s, and they sell double what their normal roster brings in?
And then what does that do? What's the next step from there? Like I said, what is... is that something they can really turn around to turn into people viewing, or is that, we keep doing ECW,
No, they can't turn it around. They will fail. They will not get 10,000 buys out of this pay-per-view at all.
Fail.
Oh, man.
TNA wrestling fail.
That is my personal opinion, is that this will be another failure of TNA, and even if it is a success, even if, let's say, they get 15,000 buys out of this pay-per-view, they won't capitalize. They'll fuck it up. They'll shit in their own mouths like they are wont to do. And, Man will go away like he does, and all the ECW stars will eventually go away like they do. They're a notoriously transient bunch.
Whether it's be 5 years from now or 10 years from now, they will come back. Maybe not for TNA, but they will be back. TNA, they will keep.
They'll be back for Hulk Hogan and Jimmy Hart's promotion out of Tampa called Wrestlelicious, brother.
Yeah, ECW everyone's complaining about the whole ECW reunion, how, it's been 10 years since the company folded and stuff like that. They will still be having ECW reunions until all the ECW wrestlers from the past die. Trust me. If it's going to give them a paycheck, they're going to take it.
That's true. That's true.
Wow, that was really silent. Did I offend some people?
You just brought the room down, WrestleFan.
Wheels, do you have any opinion on that?
Honestly, I mean, my opinion on it is that I was reading something. I guess they're still talking to Paul Heyman, and he said he wants a lot of control of the company. And I laughed at that because, especially to one point, that he wants the ability to hire and fire people. Mm-hmm. And I was like, you know what? That's not a bad idea. Put him in there because maybe he'll kick some sense into those people. Mm-hmm. So I don't know what else is going on with it, but TNA does need some type of help. I haven't watched a pay-per-view in 3 months.
Sorry, I'm saying something else off here. Yeah, it's. I think again, I sat there watching the Raven hardcore match, and it was the typical. He brought out a shopping cart. He did some interesting things there, but again, really not even as good as not as good as what I saw Saturday night in a small backwater town in Pennsylvania. To be honest.
And talking about TNA.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, did I cut you off, Sorg?
A little bit, but I took a picture of just a ring littered with stuff. And I'm like, this is your preview, I mean, everybody's got these kind of grandiose flashback ideas about what ECW was. They're even more glamorized by what WWE's been doing with these, like the blood sport, release of ECW matches and the best ofs, because that's all we can get our hands on. But and Mad Mike, this is something I've observed from your 24/7. ECW, was it really that great as a promotion?
Dude, a lot of the stuff that, like, you talk about ECW, AWA, Florida Championship, World Class, they all had a lot of bright spots. Mm-hmm. But it's like when you look at an old photo album, you don't look at a photo of people just standing around. Mm-hmm. You look at a photo of you doing something. You know what I mean? Because there's a lot of shit, like in every fed, even in Attitude Era WWF, which we all think is the fucking greatest thing since sliced bread. Mm-hmm. There was a lot of shit in there. There was a lot of really bad stuff, but it's when it's gone and all you see is the highlights. You only imagine that everything was like that when that's really not the case.
You know what sticks out for me? Perfect example. You know what sticks out to me for the Alliance invasion back when they bought WCW was the one night they attempted to have a WCW co-brand night on Raw where they brought out Scott Hudson, Mike Tenay, had a Buff Bagwell versus Booker T, and the other night was when ECW showed up when they did it was
RVD versus Jeff Hardy.
Was it RVD versus Jeff Hardy?
Yes, it was RVD versus Jeff Hardy in like 97 or something like that.
The ECW guys showed up, and then the ECW locker room that was already employed showed up and had that moment, and it was like...
you're talking about back in 2001.
Oh, you're talking about the invasion ECW.
Yeah, no, Which,
wouldn't be funny.
I wonder if it was in the same
where
match.
Sabu fell off the Raw sign.
No, not that one. Okay. No. We're talking about 2001. Which would be funny. It'd be funny to find out if that was actually Jeff Hardy versus RVD when that happened.
In 97 it was. In 97, the match that RVD had as Mr. Monday Night was him against Jeff Hardy.
Well, Jeff Hardy as a jobber, I'd imagine, right?
Yes. Yeah. Jeff Hardy in like the rockers.
And then I'm wondering
that
if
said like faith, hope, and love on it.
And then I'm wondering if that's the match that they interrupted when they showed up in 2001. That'd be interesting to find out if anybody knows where to look.
Because I know they had a feud back in 2001 during the invasion.
Yeah, because
they had a feud over the hardcore belt.
Mm-hmm. And I think it turned, it got joined with the Intercontinental or something. So
yeah.
So all right, moving on. I got good news for LB. You're gonna like this.
Yes, sir.
Somebody has come back to television. And I hope you have MTV too.
Who is it?
I'll put up the video here in a moment.
It's not Sean Stasiak.
It's not Sean Stasiak. That's for sure. Although Mark Jindrak is in this Fed. Right here. Check that out. There's your bonbon right there. Awesome Kong.
Chocolate bonbon.
Chocolate bonbon.
She has
like sweet chocolate bonbon every now and then.
She is on Lucha Libre USA. Apparently, this is this past week's episode. So I don't think the episode is online on MTV.com. I actually watched episode 2 today, and I am still enjoying it. But yeah, and then when that's
that
is not La Parka.
Is that a La Parka midget?
There's
that
like
is Mini
4.
Park.
It's Mini Park, yes.
Oh my God! Does he use like a stool instead of a chair? Please tell me he uses. Please tell me he uses a kiddie chair.
No, I don't think they've done anything like that. Although what's really confusing me is I noticed that this is a 4-sided ring, and the episodes I've watched so far have been a 6-sided ring.
Yeah, because I think this was in a different arena.
Okay.
Because they were doing the whole. Because they mentioned how they're doing the whole tour of events in like Las Vegas and places like that.
I see an ad for High Spots.
Hotspots.
Hotspots, yeah.
I see an ad for Hotspots too. It's all over Austin.
Ew, no.
It's all over Austin.
That is not a hotspot.
That is a hotspot.
Hey, fat chicks need love too. They just gotta pay.
Right, Lunchbox?
Anytime Austin Kong involved.
Speaking of delicious individuals, the Twitter trend continues.
Trending trend.
Melina was a worldwide trend on Twitter last night.
Melina.
I'm wondering if they're playing it. Well, you gotta think, WWE has been making a push for the Twitter stuff. So, given their audience, I can't be too surprised at them trending.
Yeah.
No, I can't be surprised at all. Especially, like, every Monday night, there's always at least one wrestler trending now.
Mm-hmm. And then
Melina did make a return on Raw, but it was actually a pretty good return. The Divas match was actually pretty good. But I just hate the fact, and I mentioned this a bit during the Joe Dombrowski interview last week. I hate the fact that Melina walks out and Michael Cole and Jerry Lawler can honestly, it sounds like they don't even give a shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, which is, and I made mention of this, I was like, doesn't it seem like they were really, sorry, I'm trying to get something set up here. Doesn't it seem like the women like stepped up last night?
Yeah.
Like hardcore?
I don't know if it was just because of the fact they had like Natalia in there and Jimmy Snuka's daughter.
I wouldn't be surprised because they are actually like better wrestlers than the rest of them.
Yeah, it was a good collection of girls there, like Gail Kim and I forget the other ones.
Jillian Hall.
Yeah, Jillian Hall. Whatever you think of Jillian Hall, she's a good wrestler. She's one of them in there that can actually do it. They didn't have Kelly in this notice. And there was I don't know, there was something of a step up there. Maybe it's because of all the flack they've been receiving lately. I mean, when one of the writers, maybe because one of the writers came up on Comic-Con and was like, this is why the Divas matches are so short, and so whatever.
Yeah.
So, beep. All right, I got a special message here, and I hope you guys enjoy it. This is something that was over on WWE.com.
Ooh, yeah. Freak out! San Diego Comic-Con? Yeah, here's the deal. Ride the edge of a lightning bolt across the sky. A blast from the past. I am the Macho Man Randy Savage. And I am here to tell you that I am very, very, very excited.
Basically, he tells us there's an action figure coming out of him, and that there will be plenty more. But
partnership with the WWE,
he stretches that out for a whole 2 minutes.
Yeah,
but,
they're going to be the ultimate tag team of all time.
What does that even mean?
Yeah, and right.
Oh God, it's a buff Santa Claus.
Hey, Hot Wheels, we don't insult Macho Man on the show. He is a friend.
So there you go.
I'm not insulting. It's scary.
It's great to see Macho Man in some kind of good favor with the WWE in any fashion, and especially if we can see him these days looking like that.
If I can somehow figure out how to put my pictures on the Facebook Mayhem Show site, you will get to see a close-up picture of the Macho Man's new wrestling figure.
Fantastic. You should be able to. I mean, I think you're. You should be admin on that, I think. Anyways, he's still talking. He's definitely still talking. He's going to on us. I'm trying not to turn it down too much because LB's on that line. Well, oh shit, here's another video too that I have lined up.
Freak out. Ooh, yeah.
Hey, did you know Kane was a politics talking guy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Clearly he's with the Red Party.
Oh. He did that.
No,
To the champion wrestler.
He's what?
He also believes in universal health care for his brother.
Son of a bitch, man.
No Terry Scott, go for the Undertaker.
Political wrestling humor.
Well, here's a clip that was posted over on ProWrestling.net. It's they're apparently trying to talk about sports suspension for MMA in states where it's not allowed and everything, and they're gonna fine people and everything. So they bring on Mr. Glenn Jacobs, who apparently under the name Citizen X is a libertarian radio host, apparently podcasts that are defunct, and blogger. If you look up Glenn Jacobs Citizen X, you can find it pretty easy on Twitter. Unfortunately, this douchebag over here became less interested in the story and more that he was a champion and wanted to see the belt at the end and everything. And it's like, oh, how is it like being a wrestler and you're into politics? How do the fans think of that? And it's like, it really kind of diverged from the story. And this is why I hate channels like Fox. And let's make it clear, I don't just hate Fox. I hate basically all mainstream news as far as that goes, because I think they're all full of shit.
Sorg's all about the indie news.
The news
he
isn't
watches
entertainment.
indie news before
the news isn't entertainment unless you're having news about entertainment. And that's our motto here on the Wrestling Mayhem.
NPR.
Actually, there might be a little issue with NPR there if we want to get into that. But that's not for this show, LB. We'll move on.
NPR. Oh, my God.
National treasure. Big first time ever on pay-per-view matches advertised for No Surrender next TNA pay-per-view.
Yeah, and it kind of spoils one of their storylines that they have going on.
Jeff Hardy.
Yeah, I saw that too.
Kurt Angle.
How did they spoil anything? All they spoiled was where Jeff Hardy's going to be in the rankings.
Yeah, and it spoiled that Kurt Angle is going to beat his next contenders.
Well, no, he's probably going to beat Samoa Joe first, and then he's...
Well, there's no difference.
No, he's got AJ next.
There's no difference.
Well, no, he has AJ at their pay-per-view quality Impact.
Well, we'll get into that in a second. But no, I think this is no more spoiler than saying so-and-so is going to face this guy at the pay-per-view, even though he's defending against Goldust this past Raw. You know what I mean?
But wait, why is Jeff Hardy fighting Kurt Angle a spoiler? It's not like Jeff Hardy's in a title match.
But it has weight to it because it's like with title implications because of the rankings. No, the more the spoiler is, they made this point on ProWrestling.net in this article that we have pegged on here. So is this really going to be that interesting since everybody pretty much figures Angle's going to win since he declared he's going to retire if he loses? Didn't I say that 2 weeks ago, Sorg?
Well, and I mentioned the point that, the way Angle's shape is, I don't know if, it's a storyline that he might retire or not,
Oh, who knows?
He's not going to retire.
His mind. They'll do something like that. Speaking of people that retired, Shawn Michaels was backstage at Monday's Raw, and he launches a new Twitter page. So,
and Shawn Michaels has a video
Me too.
where he's shooting things with a crossbow.
For religion. Shawn Michaels underscore.
Underscore.
Yeah. It's, apparently Shawn Michaels was taken and Shawn underscore Michaels was taken. So he put it at the end. So,
wow.
And it works. I'm surprised that you could end something with that.
He's Sorg. He is Shawn Michaels. He can do whatever he damn well wishes.
That's true. That's true. He's the Heartbreak Kid at 40.
He is the Heartbreak Tweeter, Shawn Michaels.
Right. Jim Ross comments on Bobby Heenan's latest medical issues. I guess Heenan has he fell apparently twice, according to Ross.
And broke his hip.
Breaking his both shoulder, pelvis, and hip. Yeah, that's pretty rough. You know, he's had health problems like for years.
Yeah.
I mean, I kind of wish him the best. He's somebody I think most of us here grew up on, except for the fetus. So our best go out to him.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
Poor fetus.
Poor fetus. Didn't get to check that out. We already talked about the ECW originals. Sabu's coming back, of course. The people that have turned it down include Mikey Whipwreck, who has also been in the hospital with health issues. But I think he turned it down beforehand. Shane Douglas also confirmed that he is not interested. Steve Corino, of course, he's in Ring of Honor, so that makes sense.
Yeah. I love how Steve Corino is one of the only guys from the old ECW who's in perfect working condition and just said, no, I'm not going to be on TV.
No, not perfect work. I mean, sometimes, I've kind of been like on Carino for the longest time because I look at the guy, I was like, oh, this guy's not in ring shape. He was good like 10 years ago. And then I actually, saw him in person work. A fantastic match. The best thing I've seen on ROH TV yet in person and then see on TV, and it held up. And, and aside from that, he's a great fucking guy.
I love Steve Corino.
Yeah, he was a really cool dude to work with. So I kind of have newfound respect for him there. Again, not seeing much ECW, because I wasn't wasn't around for that era. But my experience was seeing him at indie shows and not understanding this Mr. Wrestling gimmick and all this other stuff. There was just a lot of background I wasn't aware of. So, anyways, moving on. THQ. Oh, I'm sorry, I skipped one. Nitro Girl Spice speaks on a possible reunion at WrestleMania for the Nitro Girls. Do we want to see the Nitro Girls 10 years later? Is that really a good idea? Think about how broken down the ECW guys are.
Point of order. Stacy Keibler, still hot.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
Shawn Michaels' wife, still hot.
Punch in the face.
Yeah.
No, still hot. And can take a punch. Kimberly Page, still hot.
Okay.
I think I'd see Nitro Girls 10 years later.
So it's gonna be like it's gonna be more like the Nitro MILFs.
Yeah. Are they gonna bring
and Sorg, what exactly is wrong with the Nitro MILFs?
That is true.
Charmel's also kind of not too bad in the eyes either.
Yeah, she's not bad either. Didn't she have a kid recently though? I mean, I don't expect these girls to be getting out in the spandex much. I mean,
that's why they invented skirts, Sorg.
That would make good TV though.
That would make great TV.
THQ has a 4th wrestling game coming up.
Oh boy!
Of course, we have the Legends of WrestleMania game. We have the Raw vs. SmackDown games. We have the what was the other one called?
All Stars.
Yeah, the WWE All Stars.
Sweat.
They are
Maximum Sweat.
They will also be having
Is it No Mercy Virtual Console with an updated roster? Please say it's that. Please say it's that. Please say it's that.
SmackDown versus Raw Online, which apparently they're porting from Asia.
Womp womp.
But it's going to be a little less simmy to kind of hit a different mark. And of course, they're going to keep the one that's in Asia because it's been doing pretty well over there. And they say it's uniquely for the Asian market.
There's
so many jokes we can make.
It's the World Wrestling Federation.
Oh boy.
Hey Sorg.
Yes.
Speaking of wrestling games, did you guys see the preview for the AAA video game?
No, I actually heard that. I heard about it.
I was looking at on Facebook. One of the guys that wrestles for us sent me the link, and the graphics are great. I hope the gameplay is just as good, but I mean, it was fantastic.
I'm seeing if we can find it here. AAA. No, that's the car one. AAA the video game.
Triple
what are
H.
the specifics?
Yeah. I think it's AAA Lucha Libre.
Let's see, AAA video game trailer. I'll see if I can bring this up here in a minute. But let's go ahead and move on to a different story. Dawn Marie responds to allegations of corruption regarding the Wrestlers Rescue charity, which is something we talked about that group here. It's a group that was seeking benefits for retired wrestlers to help them out. They've been involved in a lot of stuff across the country. But there's been a thing come out about the rumors and everything. So
of her embezzling money.
It's always iffy on this, and you know the kind of people that are in wrestling. You never know. So yeah, that's kind of shitty. Oh god, I think I just found it.
Oh wow, this game is good.
I also found leaked screens for TNA Impact 2.
We're
gonna see if we can bring this up.
Because TNA Impact 1 was so
Let's go back.
good.
Yeah, hey,
TNA Impact 2, starring Bobby Lashley. I'd almost guarantee he's in the game.
The last time they had the game, it was a 2-year-old dated roster.
Well,
that's what I'm saying.
Well, the last game they put out was obviously there's a guy on Lucha Libre USA.
Except though that they sent out the old game and included Hulk Hogan.
Yes,
as a playable character. I'm like, wait a.
Also, remember, as far as the TNA game, Midway was going bankrupt at the time, so don't really take much for the quality there. Wow, that does look like a pretty good game. I mean, it looks like
Hopefully, I'm guessing it's just a Spanish. Is it going to be available in just Spanish markets?
I don't know. Obviously, I think I think it'll be originally put out there from the looks of it. But I can see it being ported over to America, especially with the success of Lucha Libre USA. Maybe I don't know what the double triple. I'm sure this will be great.
Actually, getting distracted by shiny things.
Yeah, exactly. What was the thing, Mad Mike? I think I cut you off there, but you were going to go off about something. That didn't come out right.
I was going to go off about something? Fuck TNA! Ah!
There you go.
EV 2.0.
Hold on.
What was I going to go off on?
I don't remember. You were going to say people turn down. I'm looking back over the stories. You were quite angry about something, and I stopped you so I could do something.
Oh, we didn't play my drunken voicemail.
Oh no, we didn't. We're actually running out of time. I got an interview I have to do in about 10 minutes. If there's nothing else, anybody wants. You still there, LB? I guess he is.
Yo.
Hey, I just wondering if you're still there. Let's go ahead and do a Wrestle Fan. What'd you learn from wrestling this week?
I learned from wrestling this week that I like how they adding complexity to the Nexus versus WWE 7-on-7 match with the whole members of the teams are having problems and people are leaving the team and stuff like that.
It definitely made it more complicated.
Yeah. Instead of just, we're having these wrestlers, And it should be interesting. I think the main event for next week is Edge and Jericho against John Cena and Bret Hart with the Nexus as lumberjacks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, hey, Wheels, what'd you learn from wrestling this week? Maybe?
I learned that if you're TNA or any wrestling federation that's starting to have trouble, you want the ECW guys to come in to save you.
Hey, that's what kickstarted the Attitude Era, and maybe it's TNA's Attitude Era. Man, Mike, what'd you learn from wrestling this week?
I learned that Eric Bischoff admitted on TV that TNA doesn't churn out pay-per-view quality matches on TV. Because he had to specifically state that we're going to show you pay-per-view quality matches, which means the ones we've been showing you before have not been.
That's the thing, and let me touch on that real quick before we get to you, LB. And I know that was actually what your voicemail was about in drunken fashion, and we just summed up the 3 minutes in that.
But my drunk voicemails are so much better.
Yeah.
Fix it in post. Fix it in post.
Sure. But yeah, you really kind of leveled them on this whole pay-per-view quality aspect. But let's face it, this is them making up for not having a TNA pay-per-view this month. So they're having their Clash of the Champions style thing going on. And I think this may be a test.
It's their decision to not have a TNA pay-per-view.
Well, yes, but this is kind of a fill-in because they made that decision. This is the alternative for that. So they can keep their stuff going and say, well, instead of waiting 2 months for all this good stuff to happen on a pay-per-view quality thing, we're doing it here. And also, think of this as maybe a test bed for them eliminating pay-per-views, as we've been hearing about them maybe cutting them out and just having specials on Spike, much like what Ultimate Fighting does.
I know what else I learned this week. It was what I wanted to say before I thought of the TNA thing. I learned that apparently TNA now has a television title that's going to be defended on every Impact, which is on television, and on pay-per-view, which is not free television.
Which is on television. The TV titles in other feds have been on pay-per-view.
Yeah, but TV...
Yeah, but
they shouldn't be. The whole purpose of it is that it's a television title. It's not a pay-per-view title.
Mm-hmm. But
AJ said he would defend it everywhere they go. I'm like, you don't fucking leave Florida!
Yeah, he mentioned on the TNA post show that the television title meant that he defends it on every television show.
Which a pay-per-view is not a television show.
Explosion?
Well, it's on a TV.
Is he going to defend it on Explosion?
You know what? I can get video of WrestleFan's mother on TV. Does that make her a TV star?
If she's got a belt.
Well,
does she have a belt?
Oh no! Hey, LB, what'd you learn from wrestling this week?
I learned that now that we're more familiar with Kane's politics, it's just a matter of time that he's gonna. We're not gonna have a Terry Schiavo incident with the Undertaker. Kane's gonna come on and he's just straight up gonna say, "Yeah, I went ahead and pulled the plug. Undertaker's dead," and then we'll have Kane with the resurrected Undertaker for the title again.
But it ain't the first time.
Right.
It's the first time for the title.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
Oh, Sorg, very quickly, can I plug the Mayhem Fantasy Football?
Yes.
Sure, as long as we're done with this segment.
Oh, I forgot. What did you learn this week, Sorg?
Thanks for asking, guys. First of all,
well,
I
technically,
learned...
you tried to say what you learned in the beginning of the show, so I forgot.
Did I? Anyways, I learned, first of all, non-wrestling related, I learned that I could travel 322 11 years later and not hit an owl this time. A little sorry for the rest of you guys. And secondly, I learned that you, as I stated, you haven't lived until you've seen a one-legged man do a moonsault. Thank you, Zach Gallen. Because I saw it for the second time in my life this weekend. In person, at least. So, on that note, hey, there's a fantasy football league happening. What's up with that, Mad Mike?
There is a fantasy football league happening, backed by popular demand.
Yes!
Because someone actually did demand it. So I needed to make it happen.
They said, where the fuck is that fantasy football league? And we did
All right,
it.
we're doing something different with the fantasy football league this year.
Oh, yeah?
If you're within the sound of my voice, and Lord knows you are, because I talk very loud.
Mm-hmm.
If you go on to Yahoo Fantasy Sports and you sign up for Mayhem Fantasy Football, the ID number is 264949. We will put this on the site every week until the draft. If you sign up and register for a team for the Mayhem Fantasy Football League and you win, you will get an excellent swag pack.
Woo!
And what does that include, Mad Mike?
The swag pack includes, Sorg, I'm glad you asked. It includes an awesome sci-fi SmackDown poster.
Mm-hmm.
It includes your choice of WWE comic bookmarks.
Yes,
and
Triple H, and who is the other one?
Triple H, and the other one is Big Show fighting through a bunch of religious fanatics.
Okay. Always good.
I want that one.
Well, Triple H is body slamming a zombie. So
also cool.
And the kicker, you get your choice of a DVD, bitches.
There's some TNA ones in there.
What is that? Elimination
No,
Chamber?
but this is TNA when it was good-ish. We have Elimination Chamber 2010.
Mm-hmm.
We have Genesis 2006 with Kurt Angle versus Samoa Joe.
Okay.
We have Slammiversary from 2006 with, let's see, what do we have on this? It's awesome. Oh, you have the Team 3D versus the James Gang in the bingo hall. So, you know, for you ECW fans. And we have Samoa Joe versus Scott Steiner. So that's gotta have an awesome Scott Steiner promo.
That's awesome for all the wrong reasons.
Take my 2/3% chance.
And we have Bound for Glory 2005, which has Samoa Joe versus Jushin Liger. We have Monsters Ball 2 with Abyss, Rhino, Sabu, and Jeff Hardy.
Which could be another TNA Impact Man event in the near future.
And an Ultimate X match.
If I do
Matt
recall,
Bentley, P.D. Williams, and Chris Sabin.
I think that wasn't a great Jushin Liger match by chance. Like I think that was the one where everybody's bitching because he kind of underperformed for Jushin Liger.
Well, all right. Well, it's still Jushin. Sorg, I'm trying to sell the damn DVD.
I'm just saying.
Trying to sell the contest.
Well, it's not. Okay, you're selling the contest.
And you know
Like,
what?
you're not selling the
If you win, I may also write a song about you.
I
I may also do that.
I don't think I want to win anymore.
I wouldn't write it about your mother, WrestleFan.
Mad Mike,
There are already way too many songs about her.
Mad
Just
Mike,
you would.
You're on Twitter or something, right?
Yeah. Me?
Yes.
Yes, I'm on Twitter.
That's supposed to be a segue.
Yeah, I know. I just completely hung there for
Stop
it.
looking at me.
Mad Mike 4883 on Twitter, bitches.
All right, WrestleFan.
Direct message me if you want the links to the Mayhem Show, fantasy football. It's gonna be up on the site. It's
on
gonna
the
be
phone,
everywhere
so
you can
I'm
play
a
a match.
WrestleFan. You can find me at WrestleFan2000 on the Twitter. And Hot Wheels, where's your stuff at?
Well, I'm also on Twitter. I'm at Hot Wheels RWA, of course, on Twitter. You can look for me on Facebook and MySpace. Don't use MySpace that much because I swear everybody's moving away from that.
Who does? Except the musicians.
Exactly. Other than that, you can find me here every Tuesday just chatting in a chat room.
What's up with you, LB?
DJ Lunchbox, SoftwareRiot.com, the end.
And of course,
WrestleFan 2000 and WrestleFanRunner.wordpress.com.
And of course, you can find me Sorgatron.com. There's lots of blogging over there. If you're in the Pittsburgh area or like to travel, Megabus is pretty awesome. If you're in Philly or New York or anywhere in between, PodcampPittsburgh.com. Registration just open. There's already over 200 people signed up for that.
Woo!
Crazy. We just opened it up on the 1st. This is the 3rd. So I'd get your thing in there. I'm just saying. We haven't even advertised yet.
Speaking of getting your thing in there,
WrestleFan. Well, until then, thank you, Wheels, for coming on. Thank you, guys. A good show as always. I thought we had a lot of good talks. Go check out all that stuff. And we'll see you guys next week. Stay tuned, WrestlingMayhemShow.com. And you can check it here live, 8 p.m. Eastern, if you want to join us in the chat room every Tuesday-ish.
Now, come in before the Mayhem Show. You can see
everyone
the shit we talk about.
Are we on TV or something? And of course, check out all the shows we're working on, SorgatronMedia.com, for everything going on there. We'll see you guys next week.
Thank you for listening to the Wrestling Mayhem Show. Please subscribe to our iTunes streams and blog at WrestlingMayhemShow.com. Email us at goodtimes@WrestlingMayhemShow.com or call us with any comments at 412-206-WMS0. We love to hear from our fans, and who knows, maybe you'll make it onto the show. The Wrestling Mayhem Show was recorded live in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. in front of a live internet audience and is a production of Sorgatron Media.
You can be part of the show as we record live every Tuesday at 8 p.m. Eastern on TalkShoe.com and Ustream.tv.